Let's move to consider approving the Sundance on Lake Granbury LLC development agreement. Mr. Kaufman?
So as we work through the economic development portion of this project, staff was directed to work on a development agreement with the developer, and this is basically a waiver to allow them to move forward with their project, and they have agreed to do a pump and haul. Should they get that facility built before we have wastewater moratorium lifted, they would be able to pump and haul that, sanitary sewer. They are doing a very limited development on this project during this moratorium, so there won't be an excessive amount of sewer water that they're going to have to pay to haul. And there are terms that our attorney has worked with their attorney, and there's safeguards in place to protect the city and also protect the environment. And so we present the draft agreement that's been executed by Sundance on Lake Granbury LLC for your authority to authorize me to execute it on behalf of the city. Any questions? We can ask Jeremy.
Can I go sit back there?
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, Mr. Woodley.
Chris, I just am curious more from a practical perspective. If they're going to have a tank to do the pump and haul, will that tank be part of their permanent wastewater system when it does go into a sewer system, or will they have to do a lot of changes when they can pump to our permanent system?
The developer is here. Maybe one of those two would like to step up and answer that. Mr. Hope was apparently coming.
I'm not here to talk about a lot of technical stuff.
Well,
My name is Phil Hall, and I'm co-developing this with Ike Thomas and his son Justin. The idea would be to, in the future, after we connect to the city, to use it as part of a lift station to help us provide that, because we're downhill and we got to lift it up and send it into the city facilities. So that's how we would use all the equipment that we'll put in.
so ultimately, nothing gets wasted.
Well, that's really up to the city and the city engineer. I mean, we will abide by whatever the city says. So we are doing all the infrastructure as if it was ready to go, as if the city was ready to go, and then we will divert the wastewater to this temporary holding facility and pump it from there and haul it off. So that's the idea.
I like the plan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Rodriguez.
so how many houses or how many are going to be using?
About 54 townhomes, 54.
Okay, so 54 townhomes, and this is sufficient and big enough to sustain these homes. And if it is, for how long? How many days before you have to get it pumped?
We will pump on demand, so it depends on how many are occupied. So it's about a 3-year program to get it fully built out. And we may or may not be there first in terms of the city's facility. But anytime it comes on, we're happy about it. So we want to move our activity onto the city system as soon as we can.
So, Phil, if I'm not mistaken, you were talking about doing a phase with the pump and haul. And do you have a number of units that phase 1 would be to where you don't exceed the 5,000 gallons a day?
About 12 is our
Okay.
phase 1.
All right, so I think that answers his question.
Okay.
I think that's really what he was after. You're not going to build all these immediately. Yeah.
No. We'll
This is
phase them in.
Small steps, incremental steps. I might just add that during the trial last week with the SOA, Ray Perryman, the economist, talked about the economic impact of not having this plant. And this is a good way to try to help mitigate some of that economic impact that we're going to suffer by this being drug out as far as it is right now. So it's a good step to do something in the right direction to help mitigate that and create jobs and still be able to see some development. Maybe it's not the whole project like they want, but they're willing to move forward in an incremental fashion and walk along with us. So very creative approach. Hats off to you guys for coming up with it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Chris, can you answer one question? Just for citizen, transparency. I mean, they're seeing us and viewing us, and we have a moratorium in place, and these people are allowed to go ahead and build. Can you give us a reason why they're allowed to build? That way people have an understanding of why these people are allowed to build.
Sure. So number one, to mitigate the negative economic impact of not building. Number two would be it's a creative solution that has negative impact on our sewer plant. And number three, there will probably be more come along with a similar situation and ask for the same type agreement. Just because we do one doesn't mean we'll do them all, but we can certainly look at all of them and see how this works out. And I've got one to talk to you about in an executive session tonight for an economic development project that's pretty sizable. So it's the possibility of this happening, on a more frequent basis is certainly a possibility if y'all vote to do this tonight. So, but the idea is to mitigate as much economic impact, negative economic impact as we can, I think. So
It's fair to say that this, as designed today, this does not impact our wastewater treatment capacity at all. I think this is a very creative and very innovative solution that takes the developers and it takes the cities working together. I think it's a great example of how, adversity has brought some things together that now we move forward with maybe something that, gets used in different places at different times. So I appreciate that creativity and your willingness to work with us. Thank you. Other questions? Do I hear a motion to approve the Sundance on Lake Granbury LLC development agreement?
So
Mr.
moved.
Corrigan?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Vale, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's 6 ayes, no zeros, no nays.